Hello and welcome. Let's get started on our backs. Pull your knees into your chest. Let your hips and your low back stretch here to start. Relax your neck and shoulders. Breathe deep into your hips and your back. Breathe deeply and completely. Continue to breathe deeply as you rock your legs gently side to side. Rock your legs left and right. You could use your hands to help you, at least to start. As you rock your legs side to side, let your head turn in the opposite direction. Keep breathing deeply as you roll a circle in your legs to the first direction. And the second direction. And the first direction. You're going to continue to switch every 2 to 3 times. And as you continue to roll a circle for your legs, in your hips and your low back, let your neck relax, your jaw relax, and maybe even let your arms come next to your sides. And as you let your arms be next to your sides, start to make some bigger circles to the first direction and the second direction. Deep breaths. Another 1 to 2 times, each direction. As you come back through the middle, let your 2 feet come down onto the ground with your feet spread as wide as the mat. Now rock your legs side to side. Rock your legs left and right. Keep your core engaged, your navel drawn to your spine as you rock your legs side to side. Couple more times. When you come back through the middle with your legs, bring both of your knees in towards your chest. Extend your left leg out onto the ground. Rock your right leg towards the left and then towards the right. Let your hip open both directions. Let your hip open right and left. Deep breaths as you rock it open a couple more times. Second leg. Left knee into the chest, right leg out. Breathe and rock. Left and right. Use your hands to help you stretch and open while you rock side to side. Last couple times. Left and right. Then bring it back through the middle, left knee and right knee. Hug them in. Let your legs gently go to the ground, roll to your side, pick up. Be on your hands and your knees. Move into some cat and cow spine. Arch and round. Full deep breaths as you arch and round your spine. Stretch and open your back. Another 1 or 2 times. From there, it's downward dog. Pick up, stretch, and breathe. Take a full deep breath in and out. With your next breath, eyes and feet come forward, standing forward bend. Make this standing pose, this standing forward bend work for you. If you need props, use those. Press firmly through your feet, stretch towards the right side of your mat with your hands. The second side of the mat with your hands, stretch and lengthen. Back through the middle, going forward and down with the head and the neck. Then it's downward facing dog once again. Deep breaths. Full, deep and complete breaths in and out. One more, full deep breath in and out. Touch down onto the knees. So let's work into the hips next. Right foot and ankle flex or dorsiflex. Grip your abdominals. Press your right heel to the sky. Then point your toes. Bring knee to chest. Flex and drive. Point, knee to chest. Flex and drive. Point, knee to chest. So this is hip extension to hip flexion. Hip extension to flexion. Grip your abdominals. Keep pulling your navel up as you work your leg through extension and flexion. We're going to do second side. Press through your left heel, point your toes, knee to chest. Coordinate your foot with the movement of your hip. Maintain strength in your abdominals as you work your hip. Couple more times. Extension and flexion of the hip. When you come back through the middle, we're going to do a second variation. Right leg comes out to the side, back through the middle. Left leg comes out to the side, back through the middle. Notice how I'm keeping my shin parallel with the ground as I drive my knee out to the side. Stay strong in your core. Attempt to keep your arms evenly pressed as you lift and lower. Couple more times, side to side. Finishing both of your sides to be even. Then last hip preparation for before a standing pose or two. We're going to keep the toes pointed, right leg, core engaged, Right hip circles, first direction. Smooth out and improve the quality of these hip circles. Maintain strength in your waist as you circle the right knee and hip. Both directions, circle. Strengthen and open the right hip, while you maintain a steady, strong anchor in the left hip. We're going to do one more side. Left toes pointed, circle, left hip open. Stay strong in your waist. Mindfully circle the left knee and hip. Improve the quality of your left hip circles as you work to improve the range of the left hip. Second direction, hip circles and breathe. Strengthen your arms, strengthen your core as you take this last preparation. Anchor the toes of both feet, lift up into a downward dog. Take a couple full breaths, in and out. On your inhale, your feet can come forward towards your hands. Your exhale brings you to a standing forward bend. Couple deep breaths in this standing forward bend. With your next breath, take a downward facing dog. Breathe, strengthen your arms, your legs, your abdominals. Maintain a firm grip in your abdomen as you next come forward to a plank pose. So as you grip your waist, bring your shoulders forward. Strengthen your abdominals, tuck your butt away from your low back. Move your spine and your chest forward. Strengthen the muscles surrounding your hip joints as well as the muscles of your core. Exhale to a downward facing dog. Take a full deep breath. Touch down onto the knees. So you can do the hip extension and flexion from the hands and knees, or you can pick up to downward facing dog. You can bend your right knee and extend your right hip. So notice how I'm pulling my heel towards the back of my head. I maintain a strong grip in my core as I point my toes. I bring my knee forward towards my chest and I'm in a three-pointed plank. I flex my foot and ankle. I pick up and back. See how my hip is extended. I point my toes. I bring my knee forward towards my forehead. Foot flex and press. Toes point and forward. Deep breaths at any point. You can do this from your hands and your knees, which is familiar to us at this point. Otherwise, another 1 to 2 times on your right leg. We would come back to our downward facing dog. We can meet on the hands and the knees. Take a gentle stretch for your wrists. You could spin your fingers towards your knees for this first wrist stretch. Take a little release for your neck as well. We're going to do the second side. So again, you can do this from the hands and the knees, or you can pick up with me Bend the left knee, press through the left heel, point the toes, bring the knee between the arms. So you would press through the heel and bring the knee forward. Press through the heel, bring the knee forward. Deep breaths as you extend and flex the hip. Strengthen your arms, your core, really your whole body. Maintain a firm grip in your abdominals as you take those last couple actions for the hip. We would meet in that downward facing dog, then on the hands and the knees. With this second wrist release, we could take some wrist circles to the first direction and second direction. We can come back onto the hands and the knees, and I'm going to give two options. So what we've already done is taking leg out to the side, leg out to the side. Please feel free to continue with that. Or, as I plant down into my right hand and knee, I'm anchoring my toes. Not only do I lift my left leg, but see how now I simultaneously extend my hip and I try to grip for my back foot and ankle. I'm coming into a half bow pose. And then I come down. I would do second side. So I anchor toes, press through palm. See how I'm squeezing my shoulders back, my back muscles strong as I'm coming into a hip extension. And then I come down. So move at your own pace. No need to come into this back bend variation if it's not feeling awesome for you today. Do take deep, full, and complete breaths. As you continue to move between your two sides. Finishing up to feel even between your two sides. Then it would be a downward facing dog once again. Downward dog and breathe. From downward dog, we take a plank. Come forward, squeeze your core, tuck your buttocks, suck your navel in and up. And downward dog. Take a deep breath. Now either downward dog to plank, you could take cat and cow, or you can lower flat onto your abdominals. Stretch your toes back. Be light on your fingertips as you roll your shoulders back. I'm squeezing my glutes and driving them to the ground. I lift my hips, my arms are spread wide. I'm shaking my head side to side first. Now on days that I'm feeling tight like I am today, I might just stay here. I will guide you through the rest. If it was up to just me, I'd be staying and enjoying. And please know that you can continue to do this work. But see how now this is me bending my right knee. I'm pointed in my toes now. I roll onto my opposite hip and I stretch my toes behind me. And I'm going to do second side. So I would bend, lift my knee, rotate. So I'm preparing bow pose as I rock side to side. I feel how my shoulders and my chest are stretching and opening. I have to keep my core and my glutes extremely engaged. Be mindful with your own hips and back. Treat this as a preparation for back bending into a bow pose, a Dhanurasana bow pose. Work into any last little tight bits as they're presenting to you. And then we would pick up into downward dog. Know that we're taking a standing pose or two. So if you need blocks, you could have those handy and nearby. Be in downward facing dog. And take a deep breath into downward facing dog. Then bend your right knee. Open your hip. Take your right foot between the hands. Spin your left toes. Have your right hand on the floor, block, or even forearm towards the thigh as you stretch into a side angle pose for a couple deep breaths. Press through your left foot. Maybe give your head a little shake side to side. Enjoy it. And your second standing pose is triangle. Straighten your right leg. Stretch your hand towards your shin, ankle, or maybe even the floor as you reach your arms into a T shape. Take a nice deep breath. Then bend in your right knee. Place your hands to support. It's downward facing dog. Breathe. Before we do second side, take a plank. Enjoy it. Take an alternate pose if you need to. Downward facing dog. One more side. Your left knee bends, hip open. Take a nice deep breath. And left foot coming forward between the hands. Right toe spin, it's side angle pose. Enjoy. Breathe. Strong hips, long arm, long leg, nice deep breath. And then triangle, stretch, and breathe. Take that last deep breath and come forward. Be in downward facing dog. Nice deep breath. Then it's a plank to lower flat. As you come flat to your abdominals, let your hips connect into the earth underneath you. Bend both of your knees. Now, as you drive your hips and start to lift your knees, you should feel this in your legs, very supportive and strong in your core. Feel the muscles of your back working to support you. And then try to grip for the ankles. If that feels like it's too much, you can just skip this part. Notice how I'm going to press through my heels first to get my glutes firing. Then I kick my ankles into my hands. I'm going to keep that feeling of strength in my glutes as I now start to point through my toes and lift up. Breathing here for 5. Breathing here for 4. 3. 2. And 1. Let that go and let your head rest. Let your back rest. Breathe deep. Breathe complete. Last one. Last back bend. So you're going to bend your knees, squeeze your glutes. Start lifting your knees up off of the ground so that you feel the backs of your legs engage. You could, from there, take your hands to your ankles. Keep strong legs and core. Roll shoulders back. Point through your toes while you keep your legs very strong. Lifting up into your bow pose. Strong core, strong legs, deep breaths. Take that last deep breath and let it go. From there, press into a child's pose as you're ready. Let your back muscles relax. Neck and shoulders, they can relax. Relax, take deep breaths. Keep breathing deeply as you lift your chest and head, then walk your arms towards the right side of the mat. And come back through the middle and switch. Second direction. Deep breaths and relax. Come back through the middle and stretch forward through both of your arms. And from there, you can gently and slowly transition onto your back. So to completely relax and cool down the back, bring your two knees in towards your chest. Take a gentle little rock of your legs. So coming back full circle to how we started class here. Let your knees gently rock. Let your head rock in the opposite direction. You could roll some gentle circles. First direction and second direction. And as you start to open up, you could use less of the hands, more of your strength. This will help to stabilize the back after back bending. When you come back through the middle, could you start extending your two legs up straight and hold there for a few deep breaths? Strengthen your core, lengthen your back. Take deep breaths and enjoy. Take one last deep breath. And from there, bring your knees in towards your chest. Breathe into your hips, breathe into your back. One more full deep breath in and out. And as you're ready to, on your next breath, you can roll towards your side and Lift yourself up to sit. Take your hands together and in front of the heart. Take a full deep breath into your chest. Exhale, bow your head to your heart. Namaste.